Guess who's back? That's right. You didn't think you was going to have to see my old mug for a few months. I've been laying low. But here I am. Got a few little updates. The old hot rod back here. It's been sitting since I last ran it. Power washed it. Got the body off of it. Got it all power washed pretty good. And it's just sitting and waiting. I contacted the engine shop that's that can freshen up these crates, and he's just waiting on me. So, and I'm just waiting on the mighty Dada to get it over to him before too many of them go over there and get that thing freshened up. And other than that, put some new doors and quarters on it. I think the rest of the car's pretty good. I mean, body-wise. I need to go to, of course, suspension, tires, wheels, all that good stuff. But with the nice new fresh motor, I might have to turn it up a little bit next year while she's nice and strong, and see what we can do. Maybe one last little hoorah. You never know. Might not be the last one. I might be 5 more years. Who knows? You know me. 1 minute I'm in it. The next minute I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, so that's update on that. The other thing is the reason why I'm kind of doing the video is because I'm fixing to load up a couple more races here, hopefully. Been asked to drive one of Kyle Jarrett's mini stocks Friday night at Don't Run Raceway, which will probably be just on this video. And then if all goes well Friday night, we're possibly going to take both it, which he'll be running the other one at Don't Run, for a twin 20-lapper. Run 20 laps. I think there's like a 10-minute break. You run another 20. I know they have it for the modifieds, but I didn't run it this year because I'd already shut this thing down. It was just a few weeks ago. Maybe last week. I'm not sure. Last week or two. But then everything goes good Friday night, which is tomorrow night. Then I think we're going to go to Nevada Speedway over on the western side of the state, over by the Kansas-Missouri state line, and run an outlaw mini stock race over there Saturday night. So, gotta be fun, get a little racing fix. Me and Kyle been good buddies. We've been racing together for a long time. Shoot that car, I've been racing against it for longer than Kyle's had it. I was racing against that thing when Shannon Birch had it, probably 2000. I know the first year I ran, he had an S10 truck, so I don't know, 2003, 2004, something like that. He started running that mini stock. It's been a good one. That thing's won a lot of races with Shannon. It's won a lot of races with Kyle. I've been racing against it since then. I started racing in 2002, and that was in mini stock. So from 2002 to 2006, 4 years. So I ran against that car for a few years, and it's been that old. And then in 2013, I actually bought one of Kyle Jarrett's cars, and we raced against that car again. Me and my Uncle Mark, we took turns team driving that thing in 13, racing with him. And then Mark ran it, I know, at least one more year, 2014. I was busy building this place. I didn't get to race at that. He kind of took it over from there. So that car's been around a while. I guess I'll fit in a seat. I guess I'll push myself down in there one way or another. And just go have some fun Friday night and Saturday night. Kind of probably the last weekend of the year, unless somebody wants me to wheel something else. But races are starting to get a little selective. So, I mean, you got it and you need somebody in it, I'll drive it. I don't care. But otherwise, then I'll start I'm just on hold with this. Maybe I'll sell my house and be in the middle of building another one next year. Be taking a year break. If I could only get Mama to do it. She's dragging her feet. She's holding me back. I need to build a bigger shop. And I don't want to build a shop out here. I'd rather just sell it and build another one on my house. So, and right now is a good time to sell. Not the greatest time to build, but it's a better time to sell. I'll deal with it. I can do a lot of it myself. So, anyways, enough of that stuff. But yeah, so I'll be running Kyle's car here. It's probably coming up right after this at Don't Run Friday night, and then I'll throw another video up maybe for Saturday. Depends on how much footage you got. Kyle kind of likes the YouTube thing. He hadn't done it yet. He's kind of like me. He still throws his races up like I used to do. he hasn't got to this far yet, but I think he's looking forward to doing a little more. So he's like, bring it on. I'm like, all right, we'll have some fun with it. Whatever. We don't know what we're doing. We're just having fun. So, anyways, being the old Pinto, yellow number 10, I guess I'll have to throw an N behind it. I've drove the flat side, the car that he'll be driving tomorrow night. I've drove that car before, but I haven't drove his Pinto. So, and then Saturday, I don't know if he'll want back in his Pinto or if he'll want that flat side. I don't know. I don't care. I'll drive whatever. So, anyways, see what happens. We're not taking a picture. We're doing a video. This is Mama Jarrett.
Hello.
This is, where's her little baby boy? There he is. He is the king of the mini stocks and the B mods out here. He's leading points in both classes.
He is.
Yeah, he's doing good.
He is.
And he's letting me pilot his baby tonight. That car's been racing since I was running mini stocks. Still winning. Where's he at? There's Kyle's B mod. Here, let me get a good shot of his flat side. I'm driving the old Pinto. That thing's been around since 2003 or 4. I was racing against it back in my mini stock days. But Kyle's driving this one tonight. It's actually a Mustang. It's a twin 20 lapper. So we run 20, take a 10-minute break, run 20 more, see who's left on top. So I think there's only 10 of us. I start front row outside. Kyle starts back row inside. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can meet at the end. Maybe I'll be up front. I'm not getting no cheater parts.
Sabotaged my car.
Yeah, I sabotaged your car.
Well, it's already 6 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you better add some. Oh, is it? It looks low.
It is, man. What the heck? There's Jim.
You gave me the good tires.
I did. Ain't bet I did.
All right, here we are. It's Monday, the 25th of September. We had raced. This was probably picking up sometime right after the video that I'd started with Mama Jarrett. We before that we had hot lapped. I hot lapped the Pinto. It seemed it's time for a haircut. It seemed to be pretty good. So our weekend's plans, I'll just backtrack this, not that I need an excuse. Our weekend plans was to run Dole Run Friday night and Nevada Speedway Saturday night. And so, these mini stocks don't have quick changes or anything in them. I don't know how Kyle does his, but I know back in the day when I was in one, I mean, you'd swap out the whole rear end. It wasn't like you just change out the junk, which once you get used to it, it's really no big deal. But anyways, he went ahead and put in, Nevada's a little bit bigger than Dole Run, so we already had a little taller gear in our cars, and just do some small tires on them. And it was, just running Friday night. I know he had broke the motor in his Mustang, the flat side, last week, so I don't know if that was a new motor or spare motor he stuck in there, not for sure. And the Pinto hadn't been drove in a few weeks. I think maybe the last person drove it might have been Shannon Birch, whenever that was, back in July, maybe. I'm just guessing, which it's Shannon's old car. And so we, Friday was just kind of a for fun night for me. Kyle went into the night leading. He was the points leader in the B mods and the mini stocks, and so I think they got maybe two more points nights left. So that was a pretty big deal for him. And so we all hot lapped. Let's see here. I don't even remember what he did with modified. I guess it hot lapped. Let's see here. Did it hot lap? No. I think the battery was dead when he went out to hot lap. Maybe. Could be wrong. But anyways, the mini stock, I went out there and ran. Like I said, the gear was a little high, so it seemed to be okay in hot laps though. I passed a few cars. It's a mixture of rear wheel drive mini stocks and like front wheel drive Pro 4s. And just got to keep the thing kind of wound up, running the top. And so everything was good in hot laps. Kyle went out there with this flat side, ran hot laps. We come in. Kyle's car, B mod runs first, his heat race. it wouldn't start. And actually, I think the mini stocks were supposed to run our heats first, so I got this a little backwards. So I fired up the pinto. I got in it, fired it up, rolled up to staging because I saw mini stock Pro 4s lining up over there. I got over there and I saw the Junior Sprints hadn't went out yet, so I shut the car off. I knew it was going to be a few minutes. And so when it was time for us to roll up into staging, the pinto would not start. It was dead in the water. And so a few guys ran over. So Kyle pulls up next to you. I'm telling him what's going on. And, you know, he's getting ready to go out and run the heat. So he's got to go up to staging. There were some guys. I have no idea who they were. They pushed me over to a trailer. Their trailer, I believe. Said, here, we'll throw it on a charger real quick while those guys are in staging, see what's going on. So they threw it on a charger. I know Butch Hartman was one of the guys there. They, I think, tried jumping the solenoid for the starter. It didn't do anything. It didn't do anything. So they rolled out on the heat race, and I said, here, just push me back over to staging. And actually, there was one of the gentlemen, I think we pushed the car over to their trailer. I mean, this is one of the things I remember when I used to run mini stocks. I mean, it was, you know, we were all in it together. He's like, hey, do you want to get in my... I don't know if he thought maybe I was Kyle on that 10 car, because, I mean, they're both just alike, except for one's pinto and one's flat side.
Want to get mine? Oh, no, that's all right. I'm just doing this for Solomon or whatever. All right, I'm just giving you points. I'm not driving for points.
I don't know if he knows Kyle. I know he didn't know me. And he's like, you want to get in my car? And I said, no, it's no big deal. And he's like, well, I mean, if you want to run my car so you don't lose points. And I'm like, I'm not in the points. I'm just doing this for fun. So, I mean, for a guy that did not even know who I am, maybe he thought I was Kyle, to offer up his car for me to go out there and run, to not lose points for a heat race. You know, that's what I remember about, you know, those entry-level classes like that. I mean, everybody's in it together. Not that we don't do it in B mods and A mods that I've had in the past, but, I mean, I don't think anybody's giving up their car they're in. Not for that night. I mean, you hear of it a few times, but... So anyways, I got it pushed back over there. By the time I got over there, Kyle came off from the heat race. He finished 6th, but it wasn't running right, his Mustang. So then he got in a modified to go out for the heat race, and it was dead. Battery was dead. So we had 3 cars broke down. Mine wouldn't run. The Mustang was not running right. The B-Mod would not start. It had dead battery. So, and I'm not familiar with Kyle's toolbox, his parts, all that, so... and I had my son-in-law Ryan to help. Kyle had his guy helping him, and so I got the solenoid swapped out just to try something because he had a spare, and got that fixed. So the pinto was ready to go for the feature. We jumped over to the Mustang. Kyle found some burnt wires. Got burnt on the header. He was working on that. So me and Ryan and I wrote it down. I had to write some stuff down because there was so much that happened so quick. But there was another guy, I can't find his name on this where I wrote it down because I got chicken scratch. But he drives the 111 Pro 4. I think it was him. He came over, and the 3 of us, Kyle's battery is in a really tight spot. Between the 3 of us, we got the bad battery out while his mom was running to get the new battery from their house. So by the time we got the Mustang fixed, and then he wanted to check time, it was off time. So we reset the time on it. By the time we got that done, Kyle's mom had just rolled in with the new battery. We got that back in, so we thought we was good to go for the feature. Kyle was running his B-Mod first, and so he fired it up, and no oil pressure. So he wanted me to check the lines and everything. I'm checking the lines where it goes in the block. I'm checking the back of the gauges, got the panel off. I'm not seeing anything, and we thought maybe, I mean, it's a digital. Is it digital? I think it was a digital gauge. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I wasn't sitting in the cockpit. Anyways, I'm picturing the pinto with that. He had a digital tack right where his old pressure gauge was. So who knows? I'm probably wrong on that. But anyways, so we got that panel put back on, and we were like, here, let's just pull the valve cover off, see if we got oil pumping through the push rods. And so pulled the valve cover off. Sure enough, we had oil pressure. I mean, when it was running, it was pumping oil. So hurry up and put the valve cover on. By the time we got the valve cover on and he backed out his spot, the B-Mods were going green. And he was rolling over to staging. They didn't get a first lap caution. terrible night for him. For running points. That pretty much cost him the point lead. He didn't run a heat race. He didn't run a feature. And Kyle's a pretty dedicated guy. And I know this isn't anything on him. His maintenance program's pretty good. That's why he was leading in points in 2 classes. I mean, Kyle is a guy that stays on top of his stuff. It was just a crazy night. I can tell you what probably caused it. But I'll tell you in a minute. I told him never to let this happen again. So anyways, so he had to come back and park it. So we go out for the feature. So anyway, so he comes back in, didn't make the feature. And so he lost that points lead on that. So that was tough for Kyle. So that was it on that. Now we'll watch the feature. We had twin 20 features. So Kyle's starting 6th. I'm starting 9th, I think, out of 10. I think only 9 of us started. You run 20 laps. They give you a 10-minute break. You pull off the track, make some adjustments, come back on for 20, run again. So I'll let you watch that right now, and then we'll go from there. right, so that was the you probably just watched the mini stock feature. Other than the first lap of the first when we first got the green flag, Kyle broke on the first lap. He wasn't sure what the problem was at that time, and so he caused a first lap caution. We relined it up. We ran 20 green flag laps. I guess there was 8 of us. Came in for adjustments. I just had I just had Ryan make a couple air pressure adjustments, and Kyle cooled the radiator down a little bit. We was running a little warm. That was pretty much all we did. Went out there, ran the second 20. Could have used a little more gear. Like I said, I don't need an excuse to finish 4th. Those guys are pretty good. It doesn't matter what class you're on. If you can race whatever level you're at, you're a racer. Those guys that can wheel those Pro 4 mini stocks and running up front, they can probably adjust to a B mod real quick to an A mod whenever that time. So I'm not making any excuses. But man, if I would have had a little more gear, I was trying to carry momentum. I wanted to run the top more, but when I'd get a run on bottom, I'd have to take it, and I just couldn't get up off the corner with those guys with that gear in it. But it was still fun. Had fun racing OK Pasa. I've known him for a long time. He's just started racing. He's been racing stuff off and on, but I know he's had this Toyota. He's been racing a blue 15, so got to pull up next to him in staging and give him the thumbs up. And Brian Hazlitt, he's I don't know if me and him ran together in modifieds in the past or not, but he usually runs a modified. He's been running that Pro 4 and just enjoying himself, just getting his racing fix with it. So got to race with him a little bit and finished 4th. And the top 4 guys, before I passed that other guy, I ran my butt off, just trying to find a way to carry some momentum off the corner and get them. I got one of them there at the end, the 00, I think. But we ran green to checkered. Those guys did a great job. So, and it looked like pretty fun racing. We were kind of packed in there for 8 cars. I think the top 4 or 5, once I kind of caught them, we was in a pretty good pack there for a long time. So that ended the night. I finished 4th with Kyle having 2 other cars down. We just canceled that trip to Nevada. I think there was a 70 or 90% chance of rain anyways for that next evening. And so we just nixed that whole deal on Saturday. And so if we would have knew that, we could have maybe had a little lower gear in it for Friday night if we knew we was just running Friday. But that's okay. It was still fun. I appreciate Kyle giving me the opportunity to do that. I remember back in the day, him and his dad would offer up the same thing. And I was always honored to do it because I knew how, they really took care of their stuff. And they weren't going to just, stick anybody in it. And they've got 2 or 3 guys they usually stick in it, and I'm one of them they usually call. Kyle did say I was the last guy on the list. I know I wasn't the first, but that's okay. There's a lot of wheelmen out there. And you know what? Shannon can wheel that. He's got a lot of seat time in there, so good for him. But anyway, so there's, when those guys call you up and ask you to drive their stuff, I drove his flat side in the past. That's the first time I ever drove his Pinto. So what I think jinxed him was, so when I first climbed in that Pinto, I was getting ready to climb in it, make sure I could fit. And I knew, I'm a little bigger than him, that, hey, that seat cushion might have to come out. So I stuck my head in there, and there was some change in that seat. That seat cushion's it's pretty used up. And you could tell that change was all dirty. There was quarters, nickels, and dimes. And so I started to pick it up, and Kyle told me to put that back in the seat. So I dropped it, put it back down, and he said, that money's been in there for years. Don't take that out. So I got in it and kind of fitted myself in there, and I was really having to force my my hips into that seat. That's where I was really struggling. I was using my left foot to just push me off the door jamb to get up in there, the roll cage. Whatever I had my foot on, I was pushing it to get back down in there so I could get the belts on. So after hot laps, I'm like, hey, can we just, I said, man, I wish I could, I just kind of mentioned, I wish I could get that seat cushion out. And he goes, well, I'll take it all out together. I take it out in the winter anyways. I just don't take the money out of it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So he took that whole seat cushion out, the seat cover, and you got to be kind of careful with it. Like I said, that thing is old. He said it's been in there a long time, and I believe it. And he didn't take the change out of it. And so at the end of the night, I told him to put that seat cushion back in there and never take it out again. I don't know if I might have messed that up for him. He might be a superstitious guy. I know he's not, but you know, here, everybody's got their little superstitions when they're racing and in sports. So here, that was one thing I said, hey, put that thing back in there, don't take it out. And he went on and put it in. So it was fun. That's it. Probably won't be any more racing this year for me. I'm starting to try and make some plans for next year. I need to get this motor out and get it over to the engine shop. They're an approved crate builder, and before everybody else quits racing, and then there's a whole line of them over there trying to get freshened up. So, but that takes some money. So I'm trying to, work my magic and get that going. And so might have a few opportunities, try a few new things. I'll bring that. I mean, you might see a video on that here coming up, or probably just a Facebook post. It's probably nothing to make a video on. I got a couple things to, it might help. But, so that's a wrap on that. I'm rambling. You know, these videos are supposed to be mostly racing, and here I am mostly talking. There's only one feature on this. It's 40 laps. So I'm going to tell you what, it was over in, I think the first heat was 5 minutes. The first 20 was 5 minutes, and the last 20 was 5 minutes. So 40 laps of a Pro 4 mini stock feature. That's pretty good. Running B mods and A mods on Saturday nights. 10 minutes. I don't think we're doing that too often for a 15 and 20 lap feature. So, you know, we did pretty good. But, so anyways, till next time, see you.
Angel.